Dear Nintendo, I'm very excited for the Nintendo Switch, and I know a lot of people are too. The idea of being able to take AAA games on the go sounds very enticing. The fact that I could play Legend of Zelda while taking a shit just sounds absolutely amazing to me. Everyone I know wants you to succeed, so I just have one request for you. Don't fuck up. What is up, everyone? PunMeisterX here, back with another video. So as I've talked before on this channel, the Nintendo Switch is just around the corner. In fact, in about a week, we're going to learn more about the Nintendo Switch, including specs, what games are going to be coming out, as well as the release date and pricing. So yeah, it's a very exciting time to be a Nintendo fan. As a longtime Nintendo fan, I can tell you for sure that I'm very excited for this console. But of course, like everyone, I have reservations. I mean, the Wii U could have been a little bit better. But anyways, I thought I'd take today's video to talk about what I think Nintendo needs to do to make the Switch as successful as it can be. So let's get into it. Alright, so there's rumors that the Nintendo Switch is not going to be on par with the Xbox One or the PS4, which is a cause for concern. But then there's also some rumors that the Nintendo Switch can run games like Dark Souls 3 and maybe even Skyrim. Please? Pretty please? So while there's not a definite answer yet, I do think that if the Nintendo Switch is going to have any success, it needs to be able to be on par with at least the Xbox One, in my opinion, or very close to it. Because if it's not in the same ballpark as the current gen consoles, then it's going to be very hard to convince third-party developers to develop for the system or to port games over. That was one of the big problems with the Wii U, and even the Wii too. It just was not there graphically at all, or performance-wise, when you compare it to its competitors. Okay, in my opinion, this is probably the biggest one, but it kind of ties in with my first point. If you don't have third-party support, it's going to be very hard to sell your system. Nintendo's had a problem with third-party support going back as far as the fucking Nintendo 64. It seems like Nintendo recognizes this as a problem because if you look at the reveal trailer, it shows a lot of third-party games. So it's good that Nintendo's trying to get into this. Now here's the big problem that I could foresee, and this happened with the Wii U as well. You have a bunch of third-party games that come out at the beginning of its life cycle, and then about a year in, there's just pretty much nothing, honestly. And the reason for that is because developers realize that it's not doing as well and their games aren't going to sell as well on the system either because there's not much of an installed base on it. And part of this has to do with graphics, because if the graphics aren't up to snuff with the Xbox One or PS4, then developers aren't going to take the extra time and money to develop for it. So right from the start, Nintendo has to come out strong. The big thing that Nintendo has for them with the Switch is the fact that you can take AAA games on the go, which can be huge for Nintendo in winning back third-party support. So battery life. This one's a little bit tricky. Since the idea is to run AAA games on a mobile device, then the battery life has to be somewhat adequate. Now, Nintendo has a good history of long-lasting battery life on their game systems. I mean, look at the Game Boy, the original Game Boy. It takes fucking 4 AA batteries to power it, and because of it, it lasts forever. Okay, maybe not forever, but you get the idea, right? So Nintendo needs to make sure this thing can last a decent amount of time. Now, I do understand if you have a very powerful system, it's not going to last long battery-wise. So Nintendo has to make kind of a balance between the two. In my opinion, though, they should probably focus more on making sure that the hardware is going to be capable of running AAA titles on par with like the Xbox One, PS4, all that good stuff. At the same time though, it needs to be somewhat decent in battery life. Although, to be fair, we're in the smartphone generation, so most people are used to not having any type of battery life at all. So Nintendo might be betting on the fact that people aren't going to care too much about battery life. Which, I mean, it's fine if people are used to that at this point. At the same time, though, it would be nice not to be tethered to a wall trying to play Skyrim at the airport. So in conclusion, there's a lot of potential in the Nintendo Switch. I mean, yeah, this concept has been done before, but not at this scale. And the way technology's going in terms of mobility, it's really exciting to see this kind of stuff. If they can try and do these things that I talked about in this video, Nintendo can make a huge dent in the market and win back third-party support, which they desperately need to do. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to release a follow-up video to this once Nintendo goes through with their press conference and we learn more about the Nintendo Switch. And then we can actually see if Nintendo has learned from their mistakes or not, which I really hope they do. Anyways, guys, make sure you switch that like button. Get it? Because we're talking about Nintendo Switch, right? And also, don't forget to check out my live stream on Twitch. And expect there to be a gaming video out this weekend. Alrighty, folks. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next video.